Hi everyone! Welcome again to my channel. This is Alistair Apale alias Emma Watson. Welcome to Math is Fun channel where you can learn a lot of things about mathematics in a simple way, in a happy way. Okay, why so happy? Because you will learn new things this video. So I hope that you're going to subscribe and like this video, the discussion that I have here in my channel. So please share it to your friends, especially those who are struggling in mathematics. That will be a great help for them to learn and realize that math is not a difficult subject, but it's easy, fun, and interesting. So are you ready for our topic? If you are ready, then please subscribe my channel, click the yellow bell button, and share this video to your friends. Okay, and if you can also click, or shall I say, put your comments below in this video if you have some concerns and if you want to request something. Okay, so that's it. Now let's go over with our new topic this video session or discussion. So our topic will be something like focus on this objective. So our learning objective this for today's video discussion is to for you to be able to factor perfect square trinomials. Again, in this video discussion, we are going to factor perfect square trinomials. So how do we factor perfect square trinomials? How to identify if a given trinomial is a perfect square trinomial. These questions will guide us to go in the concept and explore the concept about factoring a perfect square trinomial. So are you ready? I know you're all ready. So let's start. So before anything else, let's have a factoring chart. This chart will help you to determine which method of factoring to use. I want you to remember, if you have, or the type in factoring using the GCF, the number of terms for our clue to use GCF, it must have 2 or more terms. Then you can use the GCF or factoring GCMF or common monomial factoring. The second one is the difference of two squares, as I mentioned rather in our previous videos. It consists of two terms. You can use that one if you have two terms given. And also, of course, the trinomials. So if you have trinomials, the number of terms there are 3 terms in a trinomial, then you can use the factoring using how we factored a trinomial. There are several types, but this type is something it has a pattern. So are you ready to know its pattern? So if you're ready, then let's have a review first. Let's have a review first about multiply. So we will try to multiply, we'll try to multiply y plus 2 quantity squared, this one given. So the given that we have here, multiply y plus 2 quantity, or quantity y plus 2 close quantity squared. So as you can see, this expression in multiplication is or can be written in this form, y plus 2 and y plus 2y, because that means that y plus 2 repeats twice. And that is the concept of squaring of binomials. So if we have y plus 2 and y plus 2, then we can solve it, or in solving it using the FOIL method. First, we can have it to solve the first terms. We have y squared, as you can see, for the outer terms for our O and FOIL method, plus 2y. And for the inner terms, as you can see, it's plus 2y. And for the last terms, we have 2 times 2, which is 4, as you can see in the arrow. So, combine like terms. After combining all the like terms, class, then you'll get y squared plus 4y plus 4 as our product. By combining 2y plus 2y, that gives us 4y. Then just copy y squared plus 4y plus 4. This one. Okay? So next, do you remember about the pattern as I mentioned a while ago? The pattern of this given. So remember the pattern of the squaring of binomial. When you have a squaring of binomial or a quantity of or a binomial is enclosed with a quantity, then raised to the power of 2 or square. So if it is a squaring of binomial, what we did in the special product class, if you could still remember, you'll just get the square of the first term, a squared, then square the second term, b squared, then twice the product of the first term and second term plus 2ab. Same with this a minus b closed quantity squared, which gives us a pattern of a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Now, using the formula that we have, this one, the squaring of binomial, this formula, so how do we get this product? A while ago, we used the FOIL method. So what if we use the formula? So this is just a review. Then we have it y plus 2. Identify y plus 2. Y plus 2, this is your A, this is your B. Therefore, square the first term, y squared, twice the product, twice, 2 times, as you can see in the pattern here. Twice the second term. The second term is twice the product of the first term and second term. So y times 2. And also, of course, square the last term, the 2. 2 squared. So that gives us or brings us, that will bring us to y squared plus 4y plus 4 as the product. And that is how we use the squaring of binomial in getting the product of this given binomial quantity y plus 2 closed quantity squared. So you have two ways on how you solve it or get the product on it. The first one is using the FOIL method, as you can see on the left side of your screen, or of the screen rather, and the other one on the right side of the screen is the or using the pattern for the squaring of binomial in getting the factor of what I mean in getting the product of the given binomial. So sorry, so excited. So how does it related the squaring of binomial in our next topic? Do you have any idea? I guess some of you have, or most of you have idea already about our topic this afternoon, or this in this video discussion rather. So which one is quicker for you? Others will say using the method one. The method one is a bit long, the FOIL method. The pattern of the squaring of binomial is the quicker one. For me, that's for me. I don't know for you. Maybe you have a very quick mind, more than two methods. Maybe you have your own method, and I'll respect that one. So I introduced here two methods. The first method is the FOIL method, and the second one is the squaring of binomial pattern. So now let's try to factor x squared plus 6x plus 9. So let's go to factoring a trinomial. This trinomial is not an ordinary trinomial. X squared plus 6x plus 9. Why? Let's see. Because this trinomial given is a special type of trinomial. So I want you to answer, does this fit the form of our perfect square trinomial? So we will define a perfect square trinomials as this. There are conditions of a perfect square trinomial. What are the conditions, sir? I just want you to observe the pattern of the squaring of binomial a while ago. We all know that the product of a squaring of binomial is a perfect square trinomial, this one. Again, the product of squaring of binomial is a perfect square trinomial. Why perfect, sir? It's like a perfect square numbers. So how? Okay, so this is the explanation. So how do we call, or when can we say that the trinomial is a perfect square trinomial? The first thing is, of course, it is a PST or a perfect square trinomial if and only if it is a product, if and only if it is a product of the squaring of binomial. And let's see the pattern. Okay, to check, of course, the first condition, it must be a trinomial. Is this a trinomial? 1, 2, 3. Yes, it's it has three terms. Therefore, it is a trinomial. The second, or it satisfies the first condition. The second condition is check the first term and third term. It must be a perfect square, as you can see, a squared and b squared. So check, is x squared a perfect square? Yes, it is. What about 9? Is it a perfect square? Yes, it is. So satisfy the second condition. The third condition is make sure that your middle term is a product or twice the product of the square root of the first term and second term. Let's check. So let's check the first term. The square root of x squared is x, correct? The square root of 9 is 3. So again, what did I say? It must be twice the product of the square root of the first term and second term, and that is the middle term, which is the third condition. Let's do it. 3 times x is 3x. Twice 3x is 6x. So third condition rather is satisfied. Very good. So meaning to say class, this trinomials, x squared plus 6x plus 9, is a perfect square trinomial. So can you see the pattern? I hope you do. Again, the first pattern to identify if it is a perfect square trinomial, first condition rather, it must be a trinomial, of course. The second rule is the second term and third term of the trinomial must be a perfect square. And then the third condition, the middle term must be twice the product of the square root of the first term and the third term. And if it satisfies the three conditions, then we can definitely say that the trinomial is a perfect square trinomial. Okay? So is the first term a perfect square? Yes, a is equal to x. I already mentioned it a while ago, so I'll just repeat it for standardized so that you will not forget it. Is the last term a perfect square? Yes, b is equal to 3. Square root of 9 is equal to 3. Is the middle term twice the product of the a and b? Yes, it is 2ab, or which gives us 6x. Therefore, x squared plus 6x plus 9 is a perfect square trinomial. Since all three are true, then you can write your answer. You can factor it out. How to factor? You can still factor the other way, but this is quicker. How did we get x plus 3 quantity square? Or the factors now is x plus 3. This one is the factor, or you can rewrite it as x plus 3 and x plus 3. So these are the factors. You can write the two forms or any of the two forms, but I prefer this one, x plus 3 and x plus 3, just to show that there are two factors. Even the binomial shows, the square of binomial shows it has two factors, but this is much simple. Okay, this is more simple compared to this one. Okay, so how did we get the factors? What if it's a PST or a perfect square trinomial? What's in the perfect square trinomial class? Okay, listen everyone. How to factor? Okay, I love the background music. So our perfect square trinomial, to factor a perfect square trinomial, just get the square root of the first term and get the square root of the third term of the trinomial. Then after that, what will be the sign of the middle term must be the sign of the factors. Examples, x squared plus this one, x squared plus 6x plus 9. Get the square root of x squared, so we have x. Get the square root of 9, we have 3. Then follow the rather the operation or the sign of the middle term, which is positive. So the factors are now x plus 3 and x plus 3. Okay, since it's an example of a squaring of binomials. So easy, right? Very easy. Now let's proceed to the next. Factor this one. I want you to factor this one. Y squared minus 16y plus 64. Is this a perfect square trinomial? Let's see. Does this fit the form of our perfect square trinomial? Is the first term a perfect square? Y squared. Is y squared a perfect square? Sorry for the inconvenience of the background music. Y squared, yes, it is, because y squared is a perfect square, which is equal to y. The square root of y squared is y, so it's a perfect square. So is the last term a perfect square, the 64? Try to think. 64. Square root of 64 is 8. Therefore, the last term is a perfect square. B is equal to 8. Now, is the middle term twice the product of the A and B? Okay, you try to multiply the square root of y squared and 64. We all know it's y and, okay, I'll highlight for a while. We all know that the square root of y squared is y. The square root of the third term is 8. So check if the middle term is twice the product of the square root of the first term and second term. Okay, let's check. Y times 8 is 8y. Multiply it by 2 is 16. So 16y. So it's twice. Correct. Regardless with its sign. Okay, so we have it. Yes, regardless with the negative sign of the middle term. So meaning to say, the three conditions are satisfied in our given. It satisfies rather the condition, so we can say that this expression or trinomial y squared minus 16y plus 64 is a PST, or a perfect square trinomial. So how do we factor again? Get this, just copy the square root that we answered a while ago. So since all three are true, then write your answer. What's your answer? Square root of y squared, we have y. Square root of 64 is 8. And there is follow the negative sign of the middle term, so y minus 8. Just write it twice to get its factor. So is our answer correct? Let's see. Correct. You can rewrite it in this way. Y minus 8 quantity squared, or the best way to write it is in this way. Y minus 8 and y minus 8. I hope you can follow. Okay. Easy, right? Very easy. I know, right? So can we proceed to the next? Let's proceed to the next. Factor m squared minus 12m plus 36. I want you to do it on your seats. What do you think? M squared is a perfect square. 36 is a perfect square. Negative 12m is a product of the square root of the first term and the third term. Therefore, the answer is m minus 6 quantity squared. Just get the square root of m squared, we have m. Square root of 36, we have 6, and copy the sign of the middle term. So m minus 6, or m minus, or you can write it m minus 6 times m minus 6. Or this one, m minus 6 times m minus 6. Do not be confused. Again, just get its square root. Square root 6, copy the sign. That's why it's negative. Okay? Very easy. What about the other? This one, 4p squared plus 4p plus 1. Does this fit the form of our perfect square trinomial? 4p squared is a perfect square. Why perfect square, sir? Square root of 4p squared is 2p. Square root of the third term, which is 1, is 1. So let's see. Is the first term a perfect square? Yes, as I have said, 2p. 4p squared, again, the 4p squared, the square root of 4p squared is 2p, so it's a perfect square. Is the last term a perfect square? The last term is 1. Therefore, the square root of 1 is 1. Yes, it is a perfect square. Is the middle term twice the product of the a and b? So let's check. 2p times 1 is 2p. What is twice 2p? 4p. So meaning to say, since it's 4p in the middle term of the given trinomial, then we can say that it is, or the middle term is twice the product of the a and b. Okay? So since all three are true, then you can write your answer 2p plus 1 or 2p plus 1. Again, how did we get 2p plus 1? Get the square root of 4p squared, which is 2p, square root of 1, then copy the sign of the middle term, plus. Again, you can only apply this one when you are dealing with a perfect square trinomial. If it is not a perfect square trinomial, then you cannot apply this pattern or methods. Or you can write your answer as 2p plus 1 and 2p plus 1. So again, you can only use this method once you are going to factor a perfect square trinomial. So that's it. So that is our lesson for this video discussion. I hope everybody got it correctly. And also, I hope everybody will continue to subscribe in my channel so that you will learn a lot of things in mathematics. Do not forget, in PST, it must be the first term and then the third term must be a perfect square. How to identify if it is a perfect square? When you get its square root, it gives you a exact value. So like square root of 4p squared, you have 2p, so exact value. Okay? Square root of 1, 1. So that's what I meant. The first term and then the third term must be a perfect square. And then the second one, again, it must be what? The middle term must be twice the product of the square root of the first term and the square root of the third term. And then you can say, or we can consider that a trinomial is a perfect square trinomial. And that is the conditions of a perfect square trinomial. How to factor? Just get the square root of the first term. Example, 4p squared, you have it 2p. And the square root of the third term, example, in the given 1, square root of 1 is 1. That's why you have 2p plus 1. Where did we get plus? From the sign of the middle term. And that is how you do the perfect square trinomial. So I hope everybody got it correctly. And what I mean, you grasp the concept already. So we will end our discussion in there. So this is Emma Watson signing off, and see you in the next video presentations or discussions that we will have. So I hope everybody will subscribe my channel. Do not forget, if you learn something, if you like it, even if you don't like it, just joking, please subscribe, click the yellow bell button so that you will be able to be notified once there is a new video that will be uploaded in this channel. So math is fun. Do not forget to subscribe, click subscribe, watch, and share it with your friends. So thank you so much. Have a good day and have a Kit Kat. Just joking.